Welcome back to my channel, everyone, Culture Trekkers. It is the next Vlogmas and I know you're all so excited. If you haven't seen the last videos, you can learn how to make your own Christmas centerpiece just like this. So be sure to go check those out. Make sure to like and subscribe and share it with a friend because more the merrier. Today, let me show you what we're gonna do. Da da da! A gingerbread house. So this is the first time that I've actually done one of these by myself and I think we're gonna have a really good time. This one that I just got at Target, they have one with gummy bears, they have ones with other kind of favorite candies that you might like. So let's get this party started and see if the gingerbread is actually broken. I did do a little bit of research on gingerbread and kind of where it came from. So while we're doing this, oh, look at how cute these little candies are. You see those? They're like little miniature lights you can put on there. We got a couple of bars of Hershey's and all of them feel like they're intact. Ooh, there's like little holly berries. Look at those. I'm so excited. And there is a ton of icing. Holy smokes. And then it even comes with little tips for icing, I guess. So on the back of this box, it actually has all the instructions for how to properly put your gingerbread house together. But gingerbread, back to the history of it, gingerbread was actually considered an exquisite treat to have during Christmas time. And the reason is because all of the spices that you used to flavor the gingerbread were very, very expensive. And it kind of came about in Poland, which I also have videos on Poland if you haven't seen those, because all of the trade route that went through Krakow. So the route that went through Krakow to Hungary and Austria, it was a major thoroughfare for trading spices. So in the 17th century, Catherine became a saint, and there are actually gingerbread shapes that are named after her. Gingerbread was typically sold at Christmas markets and trade shows. It was also used for weddings and other important times of year to celebrate births or a Valentine's gift for a loved one or a sweetheart. There are even gingerbread stories where if you had a sweetheart or someone that you really cared about, you would have a gingerbread in the shape of a heart and you would put a mirror in the middle of that heart to ward off evil. Gingerbread was actually some of the first sweet treats that people would have besides, you know, minced pies in England. I'm just reading the instructions while we talk about this. Gingerbread was one of the first sweet treats that people would have at Christmas time besides minced pie. Might have cut that too big, but whatever. Here we go. Oh, I was supposed to knead this and get it to room temperature before I actually cut the tip off, so make sure you read your instructions. But while I hold this for a second and just gently massage it, before sugar came about, they used honey to sweeten these gingerbread houses. And so you would have a ginger house, you would also have a honey bread house, and then they would use the excess honey and turn it into mead, or an alcoholic beverage that would be consumed with the gingerbread. Wine was also commonly consumed with the gingerbread. And then the sugar came about, and so originally the icing was put on very, very thin because it was sweetened with honey. And then as sugar came about, gingerbread houses and things like that, and cookies and things like that went out the door, and confectioners kind of took over, and the whole trade of gingerbread went out the window. It didn't really start coming back with these elaborate houses and things until Hans Christian Andersen and the Nutcracker, that fable came about. And then it started to show up as houses with fancy icing that was placed on the gingerbread houses, and then people started to display them in their homes, and they would eat them at Christmas time. Then you started to get into more of the sweet treats, the extensive decorating, and now gingerbread making is actually coming back. There are whole generations that have recipes that have been handed down since the 17th century. Some of them are still operating, like in Hungary and Turin in Poland. There are a few places in Italy, I believe, but mostly it's in that trade route along Poland, Austria, and Hungary. All right, I think this is warmed up enough. Oh, the bag is ripped. That's so dumb. All right, well, we're just gonna make the best of it. All right, so I did the square, and then I have to turn these over and put 2 lines on each side. See, it's just coming out every... Hershey! I feel like the icing lines need to be big enough for the gingerbread to actually stick. That looks a little better. More like what a gingerbread house should be. It's kind of hard. I guess I'm not a baker. Well, I definitely know I'm not a baker. My family always made fun of me for that because when I would try to bake something, I would make it up as I went. Substitute things you're not really supposed to substitute, such as brown sugar for regular sugar. And I cannot believe it's not butter for regular butter. So that just doesn't really work. You really have to be exact with doing this, don't you? Holy smokes. I thought, oh, this'll be easy. But I think this is why kids like doing it so much, is because you just get to like suck on sugar the whole time. Cause it definitely gets messy. Just gonna hold this here while it decides to if it wants to set or not. I guess, I don't know if you're like supposed to get it cold in order to make it stick. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm such a perfectionist that I want it to be good. Next year. This is the practice run, people. And you can't push on the actual gingerbread too hard because then you're gonna break it. Oh no. No! Well, how are you supposed to fix that? And see, now these are sliding off. What the hell? Right. Okay. Well, this isn't working. We just want to show you this side of the house. There's like one whole wall that's caved in. There you go. We won't be perfectionists about it. Oh, there's a super cute. The heck? Of course Hershey's would be super cute because, well, they sell things, Janiel. Well, it kind of looks like icicles, doesn't it? Oh, you can't see it. Oh, now the roof is sliding off. I feel like you need to be a freaking architect to get this done right. All right, so I managed to make it stick together, but I kind of used a ton of the icing in order to do it. So from what I can salvage, I'll just decorate how I can, especially with this massive hole in the bag right there. The best I can, people, the best I can. I feel like if you were to get some of the icing that they use to decorate actual cakes, it would turn out a lot cuter. I think this is more difficult for me just because I thought, oh, I could do a gingerbread house and it'll be just like painting. Nope, this is like a paint that moves. So for those of you who watched the Great British Baking Show, Paul and Prue would not approve. I'm just working on my gingerbread right now. I just got my tree done. Just trying to make him not look like an alien. Toothpicks would be a good idea. They definitely had like some kind of professional somebody doing this, because this is a much wider nozzle than what they use. For sure. Well, at least he doesn't look like Barney. And now I'm gonna start decorating. Just wanna put some steps up to the front. And then these are supposed to be little like eaves. I don't know if they're gonna stay though. We'll see if those stay. I'll put this very lightly as the little chimney. Maybe these are out front. Ba-ba-da! I want a little door handle. That's fun. I feel like to do a gingerbread house, you really just have to have a ton of patience. There's my tree. Yay! I'm just gonna put some holly over here. You want to be careful about actually touching the icing with your hands, because as soon as it gets warm, it starts to melt. So then now we're just gonna put the Christmas lights on. This is kind of hard doing this upside down, by the way. Oh, well, Geronimo. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, does it? Don't answer that. Oh my goodness. And these are too freaking big. So the gingerbread guy, I'm just putting the little lights on as a bow, like a big old bow. I'm gonna give him a red nose so he looks like Santa Claus. Holly bushes up in the front here. We don't have to be just like Hershey, right? We can make it our own and make it better. More better. Stay. Okay, I'm gonna finish this other side really quick and then I'll come back and show you the final product. We're all done! Look at her! Isn't she pretty? Got the gingerbread in the front with the tree, and then I just put lights for like his little bow tie. And then this is supposed to be like holly bushes on either side of the door that's lit up. And it's got some shutters and stuff. And then the lights on the side with a little decorative holly. And then I just put the rest of the kisses and the Hershey chocolates up at the top to kind of seal the deal. Thanks for building a gingerbread house with me. It may not be perfect, but it's good enough and we'll get it perfect next year. So my two biggest tips would be make sure that you have a cool house, that your hands are cool. Then don't work the icing too much. Let it set before you start putting stuff on it or the roof. Make sure your foundation is solid, and that goes for both gingerbread house and life in general. Merry Christmas!